Nowadays, I can book a flight to Japan in 2 minutes. I can watch 100 videos in an hour. I can find restaurants, hidden gems, attractions. So why does it take days to plan a trip? Is what I've been asking myself. Why is it that it takes so much time? Over the last few months, I've spent hundreds of hours looking into how people plan their trips. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized something. Travel planning is still broken. I'm Ali and I'm currently building a travel app called Zenvoy. But today isn't about the app. Today I want to talk about why planning trips still sucks. Because before I could build a solution, I had to understand the problem.
20 years ago, information was scarce. You used to have to look through travel books. You had to do your own research relating to the place that you were going. You had to go to a physical travel agent. Everything was a lot harder to find. Comparing it to today, however, you see 15 TikTok videos, 3 YouTube videos, 10 Instagram Reels, 2 Reddit threads, 9 Facebook videos. The amount of information is actually quite overwhelming. Out of all that information, you're left with 40 restaurants, 20 attractions, and 15 different viewpoints, all in the same place.
As you can see, people don't have a lack of information anymore. They have a filtering problem. This is what's known as the classic traveler behavior. So you've got something cool. You've got cool things to do, adventures, lakes, cities, culture, food, all the good things. You've seen it on social media, seen it on YouTube. You save it. You save a video. And then you save another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another. You get my point. And then months later, you have all these saved videos from various social media platforms, and you don't know what to do with them. They're just videos. You still have to extract all the information. You still have to plan everything. You got to get it all booked. Please don't mind my handwriting. I'm terrible, I know. Everything's messy. Everything's scattered. And although you've got everything saved, it's all there. It's just everywhere. So you've seen this amazing place before, and you're trying to find it again. You're trying to find it in all of this mess. Everywhere there's just videos, notes, and you have to sort through it all to find that. That's where you want to go. You remember it, and you're like, oh, what was it? It was that one place, and now you're going through all your saved, and you're trying to find this in all of this mess. It's just not ideal. Let's say you found all the places you want to stay. You've got them all across your tabs in your browser, and then it crashes. Or you accidentally hit refresh, and everything is gone. All of your hours of hard work, wasted. Just from something that wasn't even your fault. Honestly, it's not even an uncommon occurrence. It's happened to me, I think, every single time I've tried to plan a trip. And I can tell you from experience, and I'm sure you've had it as well, it is the most annoying thing. Because you just have to do it all over again. And it's not really ideal. And the worst of it is that you've got that spot and you're just trying to remember what it was again. And it's just, you can't remember, and you can't find it because it's just gone. It's just lost. You're trying to remember where it was. Where was this hidden cafe in Kyoto, or where was this restaurant? What are you going to do, really? The travel agent trade-off. Now, before I talk about this, I want to make something abundantly clear. Travel agents absolutely have their place. They save people time and they can reduce stress. They can organise complex itineraries, and for certain travellers, they can be incredibly valuable. If you're planning a luxury travel holiday or something with the family, organising a honeymoon, and you simply just don't have time to plan, travel agents are a good option. The issue is that many modern travellers don't want someone else planning their trip. They just want assistance. And that's a very important difference, because travel is personal. And when you think about your dream trip to Japan, New Zealand, Canada, the US, or whatever it may be, you're not imagining someone else's adventure. You're imagining your own. The coffee shops you want to visit, the hidden beaches you want to discover, the food you want to eat, the hikes you want to complete, the experiences that you want to remember.
And sometimes packaged experiences don't fully capture that. And I mean, that's not always the case, but naturally, that sort of service has a higher price tag. And for many travelers, especially young travelers, digital nomads, students, paying someone hundreds or even up to thousands of dollars to plan your trip isn't always realistic. So what do they do instead? They try to plan everything themselves, which sounds great in theory, until you're 6 hours deep comparing accommodation reviews, trying to work out if staying in one area is better than another, comparing train routes, comparing attractions, comparing flights, comparing food, restaurants, and suddenly your exciting holiday starts to feel like a second job. I think that's where the real gap exists. Most people don't want a travel agent, but they also don't want to have to do everything manually. They want something in the middle. They want guidance, but they still want control. At the end of the day, it's their trip, not somebody else's. That's a really important distinction that just gets overlooked. The goal isn't to remove travelers from the planning process. The goal is to make the planning process easier. If I had to choose the biggest reason of why travel planning still sucks, it's definitely this, and that's time wasted. Think about the last trip you planned. Not the trip itself, but the planning behind it. How many hours did you spend researching? Most people heavily underestimate this. A weekend journey might take 2 to 3 hours, but a trip to Japan, 20 hours isn't unusual. Europe, 40 hours or more. A multi-country trip, you're going to be spending days on that one. And the crazy part is that you don't spend most of the time doing the things you actually enjoy. It's spent just trying to organise information. You have to research destinations, then attractions, then hotels, then restaurants. You have to research transport, weather, opening hours, maps, local customs, packing requirements. Then you realise you've forgotten something and you have to check it all over again. The planning process becomes a massive game of connecting the dots, and then every new piece of information creates another decision. You find a cool attraction, and now you need to find accommodation nearby. You find accommodation, now you need to find transport. You find transport, and now you have to figure out how long you're going to stay. Every answer creates another question. And before long, you've spent your entire Sunday staring at a screen instead of enjoying yourself. The irony is that the trip itself is often exciting. It's just the planning isn't. Nobody dreams of spending 6 hours planning train schedules. Nobody dreams about reading 50 hotel reviews. Nobody dreams about copying an address into Google Maps. People dream about standing on mountaintops, watching sunsets, trying new food, exploring cities, meeting people, creating memories. The experiences are exciting. The admin isn't. Yet most travel tools have people spending hours still doing research and mundane tasks. It's repetitive. That's the problem. Inspiration versus execution. This is probably the most interesting problem of them all, because people love travel content. Travel content is everywhere. Millions of people watch travel videos every day. And honestly, I understand why. Travel content is inspiring. It makes you dream. You see hidden beaches in Greece, an amazing mountaintop in Japan, a road trip through New Zealand, a rooftop cafe in Italy, and instantly you think, I want to go there. But then reality kicks in. Inspiration's easy, execution is hard. Watching a travel video takes 10 minutes. Turning that video into a real trip takes about 10 hours. You have to figure out where the location is, how to get there, where to stay, how much it costs, and suddenly something that felt simple has now become complicated. I think that's why so many travel ideas don't become real trips. People aren't lacking inspiration, they're drowning in it. What they're lacking is a simple path from inspiration to action. The gap is turning those discoveries into something usable, and that's where so much friction exists today. When I think about the future of travel planning, I don't think it's about replacing adventure. I don't think it's about replacing creativity. And I definitely don't think it's about removing spontaneity. I think it's about removing friction. The boring parts, the repetitive parts, the parts no one enjoys. Less searching, less copy and pasting, less organising, less jumping between tabs, less repetitive work. I want there to be more travelling, more exploring, more experiences, more memories made. Because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, nobody wants to go on holiday because they like planning spreadsheets. They travel because they want to experience something. And I think technology should get people there faster. Not by replacing the journey,
but by removing the unnecessary obstacles that sit between inspiration and action. If you've ever spent hours planning a trip, you've lost progress, you've forgotten where you saved your videos, you felt overwhelmed, you are not alone. So many of us have had these issues, and it's just how it was, but it's not how it needs to be. Travel planning has dramatically changed over the last 10 years, but planning still feels stuck in the past. And that's exactly the problem that I'm obsessed with solving. I would genuinely love to hear your thoughts. What frustrates you the most about travel planning? What part of the process do you wish was easier? Leave a comment below if you'd like to, and let me know. Because the more conversations we have about these problems, the more of a chance there is that someone's going to do something about it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next episode. See ya.